Chapter 4 of The Mandalorian had this really East meets West feel to it because it was like a samurai movie, but it was also like a Western. So it was a really interesting episode, Chapter 4 of The Mandalorian, called The Sanctuary. I'm going to break it down to you guys and give my thoughts, so stay tuned. What's up, Star Wars fans? My name is Prince and I'm an urban acolyte. This is going to be my breakdown of Chapter 4 in The Mandalorian called The Sanctuary. Now, just a quick recap of the episode. The Mandalorian is on the run with Baby Yoda after we saw in Chapter 3 where he decided to turn on the Bounty Hunters Guild. He went and rescued Baby Yoda, took out the stormtroopers from the client, and set off set off on an adventure with Baby Yoda to, explore strange new worlds and seek out new life and new civilizations. But anyway, that brought him to this planet. I believe the name of the planet is called Sorgan, something like that we saw in The Sanctuary, where he's literally seeking a sanctuary, seeking somewhere where he can hide out, lay low from the Bounty Hunters Guild, and decide what his next step is going to be now that he's basically a bandit on the run with Baby Yoda and these other bounty hunters from the guild looking for the two of them. So he gets to a cantina where he's trying to get the 411, immediately sees Gina Carano's Cara Dune character and notices her armor, the look of her. She looks like she can fight, and kind of assumes that, hey man, this chick might be a bounty hunter. She might be out trying to collect a bounty on me and the kid. Some people had an issue with the fact that Cara Dune whooped up on your boy DJ. Well, actually they fought to a draw, and look, she was a shock trooper with the Republic during the rebellion. That's basically like she was Special Forces, a Navy SEAL, whatever, right? So the whole point of them fighting to a draw like that was to basically say, look, man, she's equally as skilled as DJ is, as the Mandalorian, as the hero. We know they're gonna form an alliance, right? A game recognized game. That was all it was. Some of these, some of these boys been out of shape because, look, if you get a real life champion from the UFC to play this character, look man, she's got to be badass. Now if you got an issue with that, hey man, I don't know, why don't you go train or something? Like, quit sweating small stuff. She beat him they fought to a draw because of the story. For story reasons, it was to establish that look, she got game, she's got skill. Like I said, game recognized game. He wouldn't have called her up to help him out if she didn't have game. So the real story here though is the city, the sanctuary, this city, this farmers, kind of fish farmers town. I think they like are farming. They have like a fish farm, like I think they call them krill, which is a real thing, right? These little blue fish. And this little fisherman's village is being raided by these little space orc looking dudes called the Klatooinians, right? Klatooinians have gotten their hands on some Imperial tech. They've got an ATST walker, right? A chicken walker is what I've been calling them. They got a chicken walker. They're raiding that village, right? They're making these people's lives a living hell, right? It's like as soon as they, collect a good harvest, right? As soon as everything is fine and dandy, here come these orcs coming in to raid the village and kill people and steal their fish, and however these people are making their livelihood. They just want to live in peace. They want to farm and fish and play with, and the kids want to play whatever Star Wars soccer is, right, with the little wicker basket soccer ball that they got, right? These kids just want to do their thing, and here these orcs are, player hating, right? So that really sets the stage for this episode. Of course, we know some kind of way they're going to cross paths. We saw the lady, I want to call her Miss Clearwater because she played, her character's name was Clearwater in the Twilight movies. I've seen she's played in some other stuff like Western cowboy related stuff like the Sinister Six or something like that. What was a Quentin Tarantino movie? with the Cowboys. Maybe it wasn't that one. I don't know. You can IMDb her. But anyway, my point is, like, she's like Annie Oakley in this mofo. Like, she's the only one with training. You know, I heard some of the fanboys were crying because, well, why does she have training and we don't have a backstory on her? You know what? Why is it that you need a backstory on the female characters, but everybody's cool when we don't have a backstory on the male character, right? Riddle me that. But I'm not gonna dive into that, right? But just something to think about, right? That guys online had an issue with the fact that this lady can shoot. Why don't you be creative and invent a backstory for her? Maybe she fought in the rebellion too, but that's where she's got her training from. Hey man, she got skills. She's got skills, right? So anyway, my point is, she has her little bonding moment. We learn more about DJ, that the Mandalorians took him in following the Clone Wars. Was he rescued by a Mandalorian, or how he came to be part of the Mandalorians? We, you know, like I said, I believe that there is a kind of a caste system within Mandalorian culture. Him not really being a Mandalorian, a foundling, meaning he was found and taken in, puts him at the bottom. Now, somebody pointed out that the heavy armor Mandalorian is a member of Vizsla, House Vizsla, right? That family, right? The Jedi Mandalorian was Tar Vizsla, right? Death Watch Vizsla. Now, I don't know if that was to throw a wrench in me saying that these Mandalorians are probably a lower caste, but if you think about it, what happened with House Vizsla, right? After Gar Saxon and these guys, they allied themselves with the Empire, right? I think Gar Saxon became the Emperor's hand, right? So I think the Vizsla, House Vizsla, and the whole association with Death Watch, if you went along with Gar Saxon and his brother, then you were probably disgraced, right? They probably lost their place within the houses of Mandalore, right? Because, and I say that, I didn't just pull that out of nowhere, right? I'm coming up with this whole caste system and the higher houses of Mandalore. I want you guys to really think about that, because Jon Favreau said that he would like for the Mandalorian to be like Game of Thrones set in the Star Wars universe, right? And if you think about Mandalorian culture, you've already got this idea of houses, right? Of nobility and people losing their place, their rank within the houses, right? The families have crests, just like the noble houses in Game of Thrones, right? That's something to think about, right? Having your armor completed and then having your signet is almost like being knighted, right? So just continue to, you know, store that in the back of your mind somewhere. Back to this episode, though. I mean, it's not too deep, right? Cara Dune and the Mandalorian team up. They end up training the village, right? They train the village to repel their attackers. Cara Dune takes down the Chicken Walker, which, you know, some of the feminist Star Wars fans really loved that, and they talked about how DJ was a coward and he was afraid, and I'm not really trying to go there, right? They teamed up, like I said, game recognized game. Cara Dune had to face down her fear. She had a fear that Chicken Walker. She was like, look, man, I've seen, you know, squads of 20 trained soldiers get shredded by these things. There's no way some farmers with sticks are gonna take this thing out. And then she takes it out, right? That was her kind of, her come to Jesus moment, right? That was her descent into the abyss, literally, and then having to come out. I say that because I'm working on a video on Rey and her descent into the abyss in this trilogy. But anyway, the three big themes, because I'm running away with this. I don't want it to be too long. Again, I don't know, as far as character development, what did we really learn about the Mandalorian? How did this develop his character? I mean, he seems to he's been a loner, and now he's very concerned with the child, with Baby Yoda, right? So that's a shift, where he was always alone, and he was gonna leave Yoda alone, and then it was like, oh, surprise, you're still being tracked by the Bounty Hunters Guild. You're back on the run, right? And that's gonna take me to, I think, the third question, right? So store that in your memory banks. I'm gonna come back to it in about 30 seconds. Right? So the story with Baby Yoda, it appears that Baby Yoda is the story, right? These other adventures are secondary to this. Baby Yoda for now is the story. The Mandalorian's quest for self-discovery, for exploring the self, for coming to know himself, as his character expands, right? We build on his character. It looks to me like right now that's going to be based on what happens as a result of him rescuing or taking the bounty, right, to go retrieve Baby Yoda and then rescue him, and then now as his protector, right? He was referred to as your boy. Baby Yoda's your boy, right? This is his boy, right? So just to answer questions, because people are like, oh man, well, are we going to see the Mandalorian turn Baby Yoda over to Luke's academy? No, probably not, right? Just think about that, might not be until 20 years from now, right? So I'm gonna say no for now. You don't even need to worry about that. Like, those are two separate storylines as far as I'm concerned right now. Just focus on what the Mandalorian is doing. We know what Luke did and what happened with his students, or at least we think we do. The ones who left with Kylo Ren, we don't know what their outcome was. But the greater story, like I said, right now it looks like the greater story is whatever is going on with Baby Yoda and the Mandalorian, them being pursued by the Bounty Hunters Guild, right? And these lesser stories that happen are going to be as a result of, they go to this planet, this is the situation, this is the thing, we go to the next place, this is what's going on here, and this is going to tie into the bigger story, and that's how they're gonna go with this. Maybe in chapter 5, I haven't seen it yet. I'm getting ready to go watch it as soon as I finish recording this. Maybe things come together where he ends up on a planet and here's the lesser story. Something else happens as a result of Baby Yoda being there and the Bounty Hunters Guild and this other story that we've had, and they bring that drama with them, right? That's how I'm seeing this play out right now. Is wherever he goes, he ends up helping out, partly to protect Baby Yoda, right? Like he's going, hey man, let's go here to hide out. Oh, there's trouble here. I'm involved in the drama, and then my drama follows me here because somebody heard something, somebody said something, somebody's cousin's brother's baby daddy's mama, auntie said that, hey man, there's a Mandalorian here, and then they got the tracking fobs too, so there's that too. But anyway, those are really my thoughts on this episode. It was pretty awesome. I don't believe in filler episodes, but it was kind of one of those things, like, I think you know, the connections he's made are gonna come up later, so that's why I never say something's a filler episode. But we really got to see this is what's going on now, is he's going to go from place to place to place to place to protect Baby Yoda. And when stuff gets too hot, hey man, you got to jump up off that pot, jump up out the pot and go find a new place to hide out. That's how I see this playing out right now so far. But what did you guys think about this episode? What did you like? And how do you see this story moving forward? So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be checking back to see what you all have to say. And if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and click that subscribe button and take your first steps towards becoming an urban acolyte. Embark on the journey to become the hero of your own story. Become a force for change in your community. Oh yeah, and if you want to help the channel grow, make sure you share this video with all your Star Wars friends, and I will greatly appreciate it. But anyway, that's all I got for this one, so thanks for watching. Y'all keep on breathing, and may the force of others be with you, always.